Naegele, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How about this Matt Lauer?
You know, I honestly don't watch the Today Show, so I don't really have a preconceived opinion.
I talked to somebody yesterday who was like, he's like our friend.
Yeah, no.
We see him every morning.
Yeah, someone told me this the other day, yesterday, too.
Yeah. Well, I
said, you know, we're on at 7 in the morning, right?
Hello.
Mom! You know I'm on TV, too?
Oh, you had that conversation with your mother?
Oh, nice.
I did, too.
Yep.
My mother's like, well, listen, I have you on in the background.
Sure. Well, listen, if you got fired, Matt Lauer wouldn't care, so don't feel that bad.
I don't really feel bad. He had a lock in his office, and he was locking women in there. I mean, that's a little creepy.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
I know.
I mean,
know.
I'm just jaded.
We could talk politics.
No, thank you.
Oh gosh.
All right, hey, do you have a few minutes to hang here? What beer have you brought in, by the way, today?
I brought in Saranac's Basking and Bourbon.
Oh, I like this.
Yes.
And this comes in a 4-pack, right?
Yep, and it's a very good deal, actually.
All right, okay. We'll talk about that. It might be a nice little holiday gift along with the big beers of...
break this out, start talking politics.
Yeah. Yep. Hit each other over the head with a bottle. It's good stuff. All right, David Weiss is aware of the interview we did yesterday with the Flat Earther and believes that the concept, the theory, which he truly believes in, was kind of given a bad representation. David, good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, good morning. And I don't mean to diss Mark. Mark is an amazing presenter and has woken up many people to the deception of the ball Earth.
Okay. I'm not going to play any music in the background for you. Okay?
Well,
this is good. We can put this on YouTube.
If you have to.
Yeah. All right. Okay, David, I can't spend too much time on this, but in a nutshell, tell us why you believe that we have been... do you buy into the concept that this is just one big theatrical thing that is going on here? We're really not on a planet?
Let me just spell it out real quick. The first thing is people that think about the flat Earth know about the Flat Earth Society, which shows a disk floating in space. That is not the Earth. The Earth is not a disk in space. It's a flat plane. So imagine a giant flat plane, and we have a thermal pocket, like a giant pond. And the shoreline that surrounds that, our oceans, is the shoreline of Antarctica, which goes away from the center in every direction. All of the islands in the middle are all the continents, and when you circumnavigate, you sail around a center point. That's the same on a flat Earth and on a globe Earth.
All right.
You sail around a center point. So you can only circumnavigate our world east to west. Billions of people have done it. They've even gone over the center to the other side of the plane, and people think that's going over a ball, but it's not. It's just going over the center. Nobody has circumnavigated the Earth south, because if you go south, you're going away from the center, and you'll never return.
So you're saying if I started
All
in
right
New York,
there, Magellan. Come on.
now if we started
Honest? Are you 100% serious?
I'll give it to you in a second. So if you start from New York and people say, well, I went to Japan. If you go east or west are circles. They're not, even on a ball or a flat Earth.
Right.
East and west are circles. If you were a mile from the North Pole and you wanted to go east, you have to maintain that distance from the North Pole of 1 mile, and you'll go 3.14 miles, and you'll have created a full circle. That's east or west. South is a straight line away from the center.
So if you started in the center of the Earth and flew south,
it's very simple.
You wouldn't be able to get to where your original starting
Correct.
point was?
Nobody has ever circumnavigated the Earth south. Any straight line in any direction will become south in a short period of time.
How do you
look at a globe?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How do you account for the photos that have come back from maybe the International Space Station?
Yeah, so that's a big topic, and we don't have a lot of time for that. But every single thing NASA puts out there is fake. They are nothing but a Hollywood studio faking space. And the way to prove that is, don't believe me, Google bubbles in space, Google NASA hoax, Google NASA lies. There's over 20 million videos out there clearly exposing that they use wires, zero-G planes, CGI, all of that is complete and utter nonsense. But again, don't believe me. Look for yourselves. Google those terms.
How happy are you that your vote for Trump actually succeeded and you elected the President of the United States?
Well, that's another myth right there. Anyone that believes that voting does anything in any way,
Okay,
shape,
so
or
you didn't even
form is just
participate.
deceived.
Okay, all right. I don't know how you could say that this year. Every part of establishment was against Donald Trump getting elected, and he was elected. If nothing more, it tells us that your vote does matter, I would think.
So when you say space is fake, the people astronauts that have actually gone and traveled, even Apollo 13, they didn't land on the moon, they went around it. They didn't actually go into space. There's no space at all?
Well, space is misdescribed as we're told. If you think about it, and flat Earth researchers use the scientific method. Things can be observed, tested, and repeated. Scientism, which is what ball earthers believe in, is just dogma. It's like religion. So there's no way that you can, in a lab, create a high-pressure system next to a vacuum. But we live on a high-pressure system, Earth, with our atmosphere, with the vacuum of space, and somehow the air magically sticks to the Earth that's spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. It's impossible. And people say, well, gravity holds it on. Well, I can simply disprove that by taking a straw and drinking something with it. I am, with a lesser vacuum of my lungs, able to pull water up and away from the Earth.
All right, I want to ask you about where did you learn this? What is your education background?
So I did a lot of astronomy in school. I had access to an observatory for all 4 years of my college, and I was fascinated. I believed in all of the nonsense.
Yeah.
I did a podcast for years, and people started sending me flat Earth stuff, and for 6 months I refused to even look at a 1-minute video. And finally I got sick of it, just like you guys are, and I went in to debunk it. And when you go in to debunk it, you find out the ridiculousness that you believe. Like, you believe that when you watch the sunset that you're falling over backwards faster than the speed of sound. That's what you believe.
Did you? Where did you go to college?
I just went to a regular college. I'm business school. I'm a businessman, and it doesn't matter. You know, it's the scientists that are the most indoctrinated. The teachers that read stuff in books, repeated it perfectly, that become the new teachers. And you can actually, you can change the beliefs of the world in just a couple generations.
Right. Well, it's been more than a couple generations. I think we've believed the world's round for quite some time.
Again, that's where you're wrong. In 1900, in April of 1900, we found newspaper articles of teachers being prosecuted or persecuted for teaching heliocentrism, and that it was insanity. So as early as 1900, people believed that the Earth is flat.
How about the drugs? At what point did you get into hallucinogenics?
Oh, come on, Bill.
What? I'm just asking the question. It's a fair question.
That is a fair question, and the answer is don't believe anything I say. If anyone believes that the Earth is flat from hearing what I'm saying, it's nuts. But I just brought out a couple of points.
Okay.
There's nothing that proves that the Earth is a ball. If you honestly look at anything that you think is a proof, it either works on a flat Earth or works on a ball Earth and a flat Earth.
Okay.
Nothing works on a ball Earth.
Our depictions of other planets are that they are a similar shape.
Yes,
do you say other planets are just flat, like you say the Earth is?
No, the Earth is not a planet. The Earth plane is all that there is, and the planets are just luminaries in the sky. The only planets, the pictures of planets that you have seen come from NASA and Disney, and right now Disney's more credible than NASA. They're paintings. Look at the latest. Just Google latest picture of Pluto.
Yeah.
Right. We had a satellite that flew by. Look at it. There's an outline of the Disney character Pluto on it. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a painting. I can take pictures of the bottoms of pots and put them online and tell you that they're planets, and they look just good.
All righty then. So basically, the galaxy, everything is Earth, and it just continues on and on and on and on.
We don't know how far it goes.
We don't know.
It's an Earth plane. We don't know what's beyond the shores of Antarctica.
Yeah.
They're most likely hiding other continents out there. And all I say is Google those terms: NASA hoax, NASA lies.
There's a lot you can Google. It doesn't make it true, though. That's the
but everything is on YouTube, whether it's real or fake. Everything is in light.
We are
fake.
suckers.
You just have to discern.
We have just bought into this. Have you thought of this though? The technology. Who built this this planet that kind of fakes us out? And who created this? Do you believe in religion? Do you believe in what do you believe in?
I've been an atheist my entire life, believed in science, evolution, all of that. Nothing could have convinced me otherwise.
Yeah.
3 years ago when I found about the flat Earth, I went in to debunk it, and now that I realize where we don't live, which is on a spinning ball flying through infinite space at ridiculous speeds, I realized that the system that we live in is intelligently designed.
Yeah.
Now, wherever you want to take it from there, you can take it, because I have no proof who designed it.
Okay, all right.
I have no idea.
And by the way, with your business major, you were able to, in the last 3 years, determine that the Earth is flat. To me, that I find interesting. That doesn't help you with credibility, but you accept that. I know you accept that.
All you have to do, you know what? It comes with a lot of scoring, but anyone that really looks into it, you'll find there's a video called "A Stranger's Guide to Flat Earth: 21 Questions." It's 45 minutes long. Nobody is able to watch that video and not become a flat earther.
Well, I kind of did.
What is it? One more time. One more time.
I watched it. Oops.
Oh, we lost him.
No, I got another guy on there. Sorry, he's still with us.
There you
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm there. What was the question?
Well, I think I'm out of questions. Manasseh wanted to know what the address is of that's going to...
That quiz again.
Because I think the homework today, Jeff, would you watch this? And
I will.
Come back
Jeff's
tomorrow.
Come back and
I will. I guarantee you it's all I'll do today.
Okay.
So the video is A Stranger's Guide to Flat Earth, 21 Questions. It's on YouTube. It's on multiple channels. Also, the Flat Earth Podcast is a podcast that I do, and you can just download it on your phone and listen to it while you commute.
I've watched some of that, and I have to tell you, I don't think you've convinced me today, and you haven't on your... I watched the YouTube stuff. I did.
There's 20 million videos on YouTube, and I would say 14 million of them are disinformation.
Okay.
So you have to just pick and choose.
Here's Keith. Keith, you're on the radio. Go ahead.
Oh, man, this makes me want to drink a beer.
Yeah, me too.
That's what we're doing.
Well, that's what they want you to do. Drink beer, watch sports, and go to work.
Sounds more interesting.
What's that, Keith?
And I would like to let them know that I really enjoyed that Empire Brews Deep Purple.
Oh, okay.
Excellent.
Very nice. They're listening to you, Naegele, and going out and buying the stuff. So.
I appreciate
that. All right,
that.
cool. Thank you, Keith. All right, David. So we'll watch the video today, and then maybe we'll check back with you tomorrow to see if we were swayed in any way.
All right, and check out the Flat Earth Podcast, available on all podcast platforms, iTunes, iCloud, everything else.
Will you work with Andrew and send us because you reached out to us after we had the guy on earlier in the week, but would you reach out to Andrew and send the links of the things that we should watch? And I'm most interested in the one that everyone has watched, and anyone who has watched it has become a Flat Earth believer. That's the one I'm really interested in, okay?
All right, you got it.
Thanks, David.
All right, have a good day, guys.
Bye-bye. This is the world we live in right now.
Manasseh, you be careful. That sounds like
It might be a
Orange.
brainwashing. Yeah. Tomorrow he
Jeff
comes in.
will be all in
Velocet.
tomorrow.
Maybe I shouldn't watch
It'll
it.
help me quit smoking. I'll watch it several times.
What I find is we are in a position in the world where, like earlier this morning, and I understand it was very technical, and you guys looked like you were watching paint dry. But as I was talking to Thomas Pickering, who's a former U.S. ambassador to Russia, he's been an ambassador to the United Nations. He is thought of as probably one of the most knowledgeable people in the world on these issues, as he served as ambassador to several countries and the United Nations. We had people reaching out to us saying, this guy's an idiot, his policy, George H.W. Bush, what a moron.
Crime family.
The
Crime
guy
family.
has spent his entire life dedicated to social, political issues, to strategies, to military, his entire life. And when he comes on and speaks, we have lost the ability to say, wow, this is a smart person.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to that person, and I'm going to learn a little something. Instead, we discredit everyone who has any education or is thought of to be even close or remotely close to the establishment. What has happened in this world today?
But all I
we'll believe Naegele, though, when he talks about beer. Yes, we're going to go down that road.
Well, you can taste it and touch it for yourself.
That's a good point.
But
we believe no one anymore.
I just think it's funny that it's far back as 1,000 or 2,000 years ago, we had people circumnavigating the globe using nothing but a sextant and simple math and getting predictable results and not just flying off the plane of existence or whatever this guy thinks.
They're idiots.
So
they were then, they are now. We've reached this point where we trust no one anymore. And that's pretty scary.
Well, I don't think American Airlines has flights going that far south.
Everybody, there is an element of our population.
This guy is a route planner for Korean Air.
Wow.
Yeah, well, you know where that plane is. We never found it.
It went south.
It went too far south. That's exactly what happened. I just wonder, at what point do we trust anyone anymore. Because we just don't. We don't trust anyone.
Well, trust me,
You
this beer is
definitely
very
don't
good.
trust the guy we had on the phone, I can tell you.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how you feel after you watch the video.
Okay.
All right, Naegele, this beer is a Saranac beer. This is really, really good. This is just a mouthful of flavors. When
Yeah. So they take a nice big imperial stout and they put it in some Kentucky bourbon barrels and they age it for over a year down in their cellars. If you ever take the tour, you actually can see some of those barrels on display in Cellar
Wow.
F. And you get all the vanilla and sort of
yeah.
woody notes from the bourbon barrel, and all that sweetness of the bourbon is kind of juxtaposed to the bitterness of the burnt malt. So it makes for a really big, complex beer. You can definitely taste the high alcohol heat. I saw Matt's face when Matt Episcopo's
yeah.
face when he tried his first sip.
Says a lot for
8:30 in the
me.
morning.
I didn't shiver at all.
Well, I was only going to have a small glass until that last caller, and I
Yeah, you
refilled it
pounded.
twice now.
I do have to say this would be comparable. This is the port wine of beer.
Certainly. And,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's funny you say that because it's a great dessert beer after
Yeah.
dinner, you know, when you're just relaxing and you're going to drink
Yeah.
something slow. The flavor actually improves as it warms up. You get a lot more of the sweet
this
notes.
is all natural. This is
Yeah.
it's not we're adding sweetness to this.
No,
This
absolutely
is
not.
all
You're
the
taking
real-
just a really big beer and putting it in oak barrels and letting the oak barrels act on the beer. A little bit of it evaporates, and you end up with a higher concentration of flavor and alcohol.
Naegele, good stuff. Thanks, man.
Cheers.
Enjoy the day.
I can't wait.
Enjoy the rest of
Inventory
November.
day.
Yeah, inventory day.